Alright, welcome to the first video for 2025. Let's start off firstly some context and pointers for what this video will be about. This has been long due. The context for this is going to be on how to set goals for 2025. Obviously it is already 2025. If you can see right there, it is the 4th of January, so Saturday for me. Yeah, I wanted to do this way before obviously before the end of the year, just to help you guys out, help you on designing your goals, curating them so you actually do them properly, because I see it so often. People set a dream, a wish, and it doesn't come into fruition because they mess up on a small thing, many small things, which I'm about to point through in this video. So let's go ahead and start off. We're going to start off with the pitfalls of people's goals. Why do they fail to fall short of what they hit? And I'll kind of get into more detail. What I have in here is I will share you my goals. I'll share you any extra stuff that I do in between there, that you can use as context and then apply into your own situation. I'll give you a checklist that I've kind of designed for, obviously myself, but also more so to you guys, to help you kind of get a gist of how I kind of prepare goals. And then the last few words, and I'll just end it off there. If you're serious about this, if specifically you're doing business, you're doing, you're an athlete or something, you're doing something which requires a lot of you to focus and, be on top of your game every single day, this video is exactly made for you. Maybe if you haven't set goals already for this year, or if you've already set goals but you want to get maybe a little bit more insight, a little bit more nuance, I can provide you that, and I can show you my perspective. Starting off with the pitfalls, I pointed out just 3 very basic ones. The first one is people just set an outcome. People just set a number. Example, I just want to lose weight, I want to get strong in the gym. I want to make, in the business space, it's I want to make $10,000 a month, and I don't blame them, and there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, you can set that, but it's missing a piece, right? They set a number, they set an outcome, but they don't know how to get there. And so that's where you're kind of setting up yourself for failure, because you know the destination, you know where you are now, but you don't have the map to get there. What you need to do is to reverse engineer it and break it down to the steps that you would take to get there. The second thing is people set too many or small goals. So 2 things in number 2, which is setting too many goals that they kind of bite off more than they can chew, or they set small goals that don't actually drive them to build growth. They either underestimate themselves or they bite off more than they can chew. Number 3 is they forget to calculate, stay accountable and recalibrate when necessary. Part of doing anything in life is that you do the thing, you learn from it, and then you pivot, you recalibrate, right? But people kind of forget that last part, and they just like, oh, all of a sudden I'm starting to fall short, within my goals. I should just kind of, I should just lose motivation. I should kind of just give up because I'm not going to reach it by the end of the year. And that's not the mindset to go about things. Those are the 3 basic pitfalls. I'm sure I could have thought of more, but that's the 3 I have for this video. That's the 3 I'll bring up for today, which are most relevant. Let me touch on one thing. It isn't SMART goals. Listen, I have a little tack with SMART goals, I'm gonna be honest. So let me just kind of rant a little bit. Everybody knows SMART goals. You've probably been taught it in school, and you were taught the SMART goals, the acronym or the abbreviation, which I have it here. It is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. That it isn't going to be that. It is not going to be focused on the concept of SMART goals or this and that. Even though I do want to give credit where it's due, SMART goals is, it does make sense. And honestly, if you don't want to hear what I want to say, just follow SMART goals, because most people kind of fuck it up already at the start. SMART goals is a good step for a fundamental, basic, rudimentary goal setting formula. So it's not really SMART goals, because Honestly, specific makes sense, measurable makes sense, timely makes sense. Like, these are all things. Setting deadlines, planning the steps, and being specific. All that to say is that my goals and what I'm about to show you here and share with you here is not SMART goals. It isn't. I didn't learn this from school. Probably just like you, when you were first handed like a sheet of like SMART goals and this shit, you probably didn't really give a fuck. I'll be honest. You're at school. It's your school teacher, your class teacher hands it to you, and you're just like, whatever. And eventually you toss it into the bin, or you just don't really do it. You don't actually absorb it. So let me show you the way I've done it, which I've gained from personally being in DL. If you know, I've been mentioning this across my channel, for majority of 2024. I think it's pretty clear by now if you've been watching my videos, or you've connected with me, or you've met me in the community. I'm very, very close, and I've been in DL pretty much. So a lot of my learnings have been from there. Going to monthly calls with Iman. That is a feature that we all get as a group. I don't get a one-on-one on him or something, but I've attended all the calls with Iman, whether it be on personal branding, financial mastery, and eventually setting goals. At the end of 2024 in December, we had a call with Iman which was specifically about 2025 vision. It was about reflecting, creating a vision, and understanding the fundamentals of how you go about setting goals. But I've been lucky to be in DL, earn my stripes in terms of my subscription, and eventually by month 4, I became a Lord, and then I got access to monthly calls, and I've been staying consistent to joining every single one, and listening in and keying in as much as possible. And this is what I've learned. Let me tell you, the way I set my goals is by having 3 goals, no more than that. As I said at the start, the second pitfall that people kind of fall into is they set too many goals, or they set too small goals, and they're kind of related to each other. If you set a lot of goals, usually they become more diluted, more smaller, and first of all, when you're spreading yourself thin so much, and then 2, you're going to get overwhelmed with recording all of that. So what we do in DL, and this is taught in DL as well, is just 3 goals, set 3 goals, and stick to them. In terms of your work, in terms of your your career, your business, and you can even bring health into this. Keep it down to just 3 concrete goals, and that's it. Now, I'm be honest, goals is not just this one line of I want this or I want to achieve this. I mean as in a 2-part component. So you have 3 goals right here, but each of them have 2 things. It's 3 intentions and then 3 corresponding actions. So pretty much you have the intention, say, it's I want to lose weight in the gym, right? That's your intention. The corresponding action to that would then to reverse engineer what are the steps you need to take every single day or every single week, etc., in order to achieve that goal. And so that could be something I'm just going to go off the top of my head. It could be eating clean 75% of the year, or a specific number of days throughout the year, or X times a week. Or it could be doing cardio 5 times a week, going on a walk, etc. Or maybe being on a calorie deficit. That is then you setting a corresponding action, and that alone will allow you to measure it and actually understand what are the steps you need to take every single day, every single week, etc., in order to reach that intention. So there you go. It means 3 goals, setting 3 intentions or / outcomes that you want to achieve within those goals, and then 3 corresponding actions that you would reverse engineer and reflect over in order to understand what are the steps you need to take every single day, every single week, every single month in order to reach that goal by the end of the year. So that's the definition, but instead of just giving you more examples, I'm actually going to go ahead and go on to my remarkable and actually just show you the personal goals that I have written. And I hope you're not disappointed. It's not supposed to be some magical secret or not. This is just setting goals, guys. but making this small little adjustment and tweak into your goals can go a long way. So I have my Remarkable on. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my work folder and then go on to my yearly goals, which I call the yearly planner. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is read you my yearly planner, which is what I've kind of told you guys in this video, and then I will also read to you guys my monthly planner, and I'll tell you a little bit of that. I don't need to go into depth about it, it's not complicated whatsoever. But let's start off with the yearly planner. I'll also pop up on the screen the screen share, or like this a screenshot of it, so you understand what I'm reading from as well. But let's start from the top. We have the year 2025, and first off I start off with the year of, and 3 phrases or words that I use in order to kind of describe the theme for this year. If you are in DL and if you are familiar with the SBA worksheet, you will understand what this is. I've just decided to implement this into my Remarkable and kind of combine it with my goals as well. You also see some extra stuff at the bottom, which is like my why, just kind of like giving a little reason. That's just a little personal touch that I decided to do. But nonetheless, again, 3 goals, 3 intentions, and 3 corresponding actions. First, I described the theme for 2025, and that is, to me, after some reflection, I chose the words application, immersion, and iteration. I don't need to go into detail about that, it's self-explanatory. I just felt those words were most important to me for this year in order to actually grow as a person, you know, as of reflecting of last year 2024 and my performance. I felt these are the things I need to start targeting and make the theme of for this year. So let's start off with goal 1. There is G and A. So G is the intention, the outcome, what you want to achieve, you know, the number, etc. And then A is the action, the corresponding action, the thing that you're actually going to do in order to reach that goal. So as you can see here with the first goal, I have a similar goal to what I kind of spoke before, which is, you know, I want to make $10,000 per month. I decided not to, you know, hop on the bandwagon and be more specific in my, you know, with where I am, which is a $4,000 monthly revenue through my agency, affiliate marketing, and my personal brand. So all of those things combined, however it skews, and you know, the ratio between it doesn't matter, so long as I hit that monthly revenue goal, that's me achieving my goal. So that's the first goal. And the corresponding action to it, which I have reverse engineered, is 1,000 outreach messages or attempts a month. And I also added as a personal note 1 module a day. And obviously from here you can literally break it down to a weekly basis and a daily basis as well. I know this, I already have this down. I know that my daily target is 33 outreaches a day, and I know I'm already falling short on that. It's the 4th of Jan and I'm still kind of setting up my agency. I guess the action for this is kind of more related to my agency, affiliate marketing, and my personal brand. That is more so like they're kind of 2 sides of the same coin. Obviously the personal brand is my own channel, and affiliate marketing, that is where I promote my content on my channel as well. And yeah, I guess that is more so kind of parlayed into my second goal, which is starting with the goal, reach 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And then the action is 52 videos a year, which I've broken down to 4 to 5 videos a month and 1 video a week. These kind of tie together, but listen, they don't have to be in relation as I've kind of shown here. They just have to be, you know, something of importance, you know, and usually it'll fall within your career, your business, your work, and fitness, you know, or relationships, etc. if you can make some clear goals on that. And then lastly, the third goal is read 12 books and then directly apply them. So that's a little bit vague, honestly. Again, when I share this, I'm just sharing my perspective, my opinion. It is not a fact. It is not some, like I'm an expert or anything. I'm quite literally, for most of you watching, I am at the same level that you guys are at. I'm just starting my businesses. This is like the first or second year now that I've been actively committed to, succeeding and working through to starting up my businesses for myself, for my career, for my life. So I'm still learning along the way, and I'm just sharing you guys what I've learned, and this is what I got. So the goal honestly could just be read 12 books, and then the action would therefore be, one book a month, which I've kind of broken down to 30 minutes a day, which is 10 pages approx per session. I'll be honest, with goal 3, it's kind of a little shaky because, obviously some books can vary in pages, and therefore then if I'm reading, if I want to get through a certain amount of pages by 30 days, then therefore then the minutes per day would change. So it's a little shaky, but I guess I could recalibrate that in a way where I can be flexible and just say X minutes per day, X pages, so that I would then have to actually calculate that in my mind and have that known forward when I read a book before I get into it. And that's pretty much it. That's in essence how you set goals. At the bottom I set why. So to read it out to you, this is just a small thing, just kind of to create a little bit more meaning to these goals and why you do them. So for goal 1, I wrote for financial stability / independence and getting proof of concept that it actually works. I'm starting out and I'm very early in my business journey where currently across everything my agency is not making any money at the moment. I'm still setting it up, as I've said. My personal brand, I'm not big enough to monetize that. I have 200 subscribers at the moment, but within affiliate marketing I'm making anywhere within USD from $30 to $60 per month. For me, getting proof of concept, I've already validated that with affiliate marketing. Now pretty much in ties, with goal 2, I want to grow the channel so then I can, potentially start to monetize and kind of create a functioning machine pretty much, which I can generate revenue from and start businesses from. And then with my agency, I'm still getting up, but pretty much the idea is, with getting proof of concept is to validate that my service works pretty much, and show that, okay, the service works in this niche and in this format, in the way that I run my agency. That is getting proof of concept. So that's pretty simple. That's my why for goal 1. My why for goal 2, to take my brand and content seriously and go to the next level. I'll be honest, it's very vague. I by the way, I wrote this weeks ago, so looking at it now, it doesn't really stick the same. But again, this is your why. You don't need to go too deep in it. You just kind of need to create meaning and create some sense of urgency to continue pursuing the goal. So that's my why. I want to, take my brand and content seriously and go to the next level. As of right now, I am on 200 subscribers and I want to reach 1,000 by the end of, the year. That's an 800 subscriber gap. Let's be real. So, it has to create some form of commitment. I have to actually be serious and actually, start doing things that grow the channel properly. I love doing, where my channel is now, guys, be honest, I love to just share my journey, and I feel like that's most relevant where I am now. I'm not here to, I'm not qualified whatsoever to be, selling coaching or consulting or, selling a course or a physical product business at all. So I feel like that works best for me, but I'm sure in a way, I could do some things and I could create content, provide more value for you guys, which actually gets more people to, opt into the channel and actually support me on my journey and, what I do, etc. So that's my why for goal 2. And then finally, my why for goal 3 is understanding that knowledge and application is power. And then a little quote, you don't know what you don't know. So I guess that's more so like a little hobby thing, but that's kind of like a hobby goal, goal 1 was a business goal. Goal 2 was a kind of a career, but still in a way business goal. But I guess goal 3 was more so like a character goal. It was more so like actually, keeping myself accountable and setting a goal which drives me to be a consistent reader. I don't know, that was just a little insight I just had right now, but it's as simple as that. That is my goals for 2025. Now let me go to the monthly planner and show you what that is. So pretty much, I'll also put it up on the screen. Do not be overwhelmed by the amount of numbers and all this to the side. Pretty much on the side it's every single year broken down, and then on the right side it's Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. If you don't know what that is, pretty much in the business world you would break it down into 4 quarters, and each quarter is 3 months. So each block is 3 months, and after each month, at the end of each month before the start of the next, you would reflect and kind of recalibrate from there, and understand, did I fall short of messages for these 3 months, etc. Or you could even do it on a monthly basis and then recalibrate and kind of readjust the numbers as you go. Pretty much, as you can see, across every single month there is outreach messages, a specific number of outreach messages which I calculated with every single day. However many days there is in each month times 33 is what I then put down here on for each month. So each month is different in a way. With goal 1 I also set to learn 1 module a day, so that means watching 1 module within Digital Launchpad. That means I pretty much just pick out a video and just watch it, take notes, etc. But the whole point is I watch 1 module a day. Continuing on for January, 5 videos. This will be the first one that you will see, hopefully by I get this out by the 5th of January, so tomorrow. But if not, to be honest, I've honestly, while I've set the goal of 52 videos a year, honestly I actually want to upload more so at a pace of 2 videos a week, 1.5 videos a week. So say 1 every 3 days, 4 days, I think is the right pace. I'm not too fussed about that. I'm confident I'll do alright in that. And then of course 1 book, read 1 book for January. So currently, very fortunately, I am currently reading The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. So pretty much, I'm not going to read the rest, but it's pretty much just calculate how many weeks there are and how many days there are in each month, and then calculate the amount of outreach messages and modules I have to do, and videos that I have to post for that given month. So that's it. Honestly, I think that's all I'm going to show you. What I will say is I've set something called decade planner, so decade goals, but pretty much I set goals for literally the next 10 years. It works in a different way. It's you gotta realize you can only plan so far. I follow a different framework with decade planners. It's pretty much just vague statements and kind of phrases and intentions, but there's no action set to them. That is more done when you go into the yearly planner, etc. And as you kind of cut down the time and you look at a more smaller section of time, such as a month, a week, and a day, and even by the hour, obviously it gets more specific, it gets more actionable, and it gets more deliberate. But yeah, I won't read off that. What I will simply say though, as I kind of mentioned, is pretty much what I'll do is I will chunk down the goals. So obviously I started with the yearly planner, but then as you saw, I chunked it down to my monthly planner, where I broke it down in, I kind of highlighted it in quarters, but specifically I broke it down in a monthly basis to go a step further and trust me, this is not complicated whatsoever. You can implement this into your routine and make this a daily thing. Is then you break it down to your weekly planner, writing down your tasks for each day of that week, and you get a week overview. And then what I do then is I then take that weekly planner and then I put it into my daily planner. I actually call it the plan of attack, but I've looked at what are the goals I set for the week on that specific day, say for today, which is Saturday. And then the night before on Friday night, I write down, what are the goals I have for tomorrow. And say today I had a Flowsy Friday workshop with Isabel. So I had a call within my community, and then I set to continue building my goal frameworks, and then I set remaining 2024 work, structure and record calls. So yeah, the extra stuff is pretty much setting objectives and dividing down the goals, chunking down the goals into a week scope, a daily scope, etc. I also realized at the bottom of my monthly planners, I have something called an aim. So pretty much, again, that's kind of like an intention, works the same way as an intention. So for quarter one, obviously I want to stabilize daily operations, because with it being a new year, with it being new things that I want to do, I just want to make sure pretty much, and what I'm saying in that aim for quarter one is pretty much, I just want to get this thing stabilized. So that's just the intention, etc. I do this on my Remarkable, so these templates you won't have access to. You have to do it on paper or something like that. I guess this is more optimized for me because I'm doing it on a paper tablet. But if you just have a book, you have a notebook or something, I guess it would work the same way. And pretty much, without any more rambling, I look at the specific day and the tasks that I set for that day, and then I take it over to my daily plan of attack, and it's structured within blocks of time. So pretty much I just plop the tasks into there and then I tick as I go. And also on the side I do a 5-minute journal. So if you just search up 5-minute journal, I forgot what the company's for, but it's actually a physical book. What I've decided to do, since I don't actually use any more physical paper, is I've actually just copied it down pretty much as a template, for my Remarkable, which I can just duplicate pretty much the paper, the digital paper, and just write a new one, each day, each morning for 5 minutes before, I get into my workout. So to wrap this up, I'm going to go ahead and read you off a checklist that I've written down that kind of describes more mentally and more what I'm trying to communicate to you guys. I have it in this little note worksheet that I wrote called How to Set Goals, revised 6th of November 2024. So pretty much once you set your goals, you can go back to this part and just mentally tick off in your mind, does it hit this box? So to start off with, each one of your goals, they each push for exponential growth out of you, not expectable, current, normal, linear growth. As I kind of said before with SMART goals, I don't really like the idea of the achievable, realistic thing, because if you're setting a goal here, I get it, you want to achieve it, but what we're trying to optimize for here is actually growth. What we're trying to do here is not try and keep you the same. You're setting a goal. So the whole point is for you to grow, to optimize for growth. And to do that, you need to be able to aim beyond your normal scope, what is normal, what is usual, and what is consistent with your already current patterns. If you set goals that don't push you and it's just normal growth, well then how can you even call that a goal in the first place? So I mean, I guess now that I think about it, it's kind of self-explanatory. That's the whole point of why you set a goal in the first place. But I feel like some people don't really think about it in that way. So pretty much what you want to do is aim for exponential growth, not linear normal growth. The next point is they demand consistency and persistence constantly. They make you almost uncertain and doubtful. Again, it plays on the same lines of, pushing for exponential growth, not normal linear growth. Next is they push your comfort zone boundaries and make you question each night if you have ever did enough each day. You can look at it beyond what's realistic and remove your ego from expecting to succeed. I know the whole point and the whole intention of this video was for you to set goals so you can hit them, but also another point of it is you set goals so then you aim for growth. I'm saying this for the second time, but you need to remove your ego and stop thinking and stop expecting to succeed. When you have that kind of mindset, what usually tends to happen is then you'll set a goal which more closely, again, resembles that normal linear growth that you can already achieve, or growth that isn't big enough to actually trigger some urgency in you. So what it's pretty much asking is for you to remove your ego and realize this is not, yes, while we set the goal to succeed and to hit it, you shouldn't upset yourself if you don't hit it. The whole point of it is for you to be pushed out of your comfort zone so you can grow, so you are not the same as, last year. Next one is they are defined by the outcome and by actionable and trackable metrics. If you have gone through and after this video you apply everything that I talk about here, you can already tick this off. But again, it's just a chance for you to look at it again and say, is it really trackable? Do I actually see the steps, and do I actually see the outcome? Next thing is that there is a overarching time frame and a deadline to achieve it. Next is that there are clear consequences and losses to not achieving each goal. So that's a cost assessment, as I've written here. So moving on, there is this weird little line which leads on to the next page, pointing to this quote that Iman wrote. I think he wrote this on his tweet on X, Twitter, but pretty much I put it in here because it's a nice little message as well. But consider this part of your checklist. The way to unfuck your life is to adopt a mission so big that it's undoable unless you have your shit together. A goal so undescribably big, it sits on the edge of reality and flirts with fiction. It stretches your capability to make meaningful progress to where it almost snaps. You'll be forced to wake up early, learn to focus, and work on your mental, physical, and spiritual health. You'll grow so much in a span of a few months that it will literally make you look different. It's impossible to 180 your life by setting mundane goals for yourself. The subconscious knows it's too easy, and it doesn't kickstart the motivation engine because the task at hand is simply not challenging enough. You're leaving 99% of your potential on the table because the stakes aren't high enough. It's like when you used to squeeze months of information overnight just so you can pass a test. You had that potential in you all along, but the task was never big or urgent enough to create the spark you needed to ignite your motivation. Pretty much, this little paragraph that he kind of shares here, which I've put into this checklist, is the essence of what I've been talking about this entire video, which is setting goals that are beyond your normal growth and pushing yourself out the comfort zone. We're moving on. There are 3 more, which is that the goals are predictable and tangible. You understand what you need to do pretty much and how you need to do it in order to achieve the goal. And that doesn't necessarily mean realistic, but that it's concrete and real. Again, intangible is saying, you want to lose weight in the gym, but how much weight? And is that fat? Do you want to gain muscle in the process? Do you have to do a calorie deficit? Do you have to eat well? There's so many questions, and making it concrete and real is being able to answer those questions and know and make that goal clear and tangible to yourself. Second to last one is a small thing, but a mental side, which is understanding the play of luck and timing. Listen, there's one big flaw of setting goals, which is understanding that, you may even hit the goal. Take my first goal, for example. I want to hit a target month of $4,000 a month of revenue, or just money, profit, right, for myself personally. And I set to do 1,000 outreach messages a month, which is 12,000 outreach messages a year. And listen, in the back of my head, I know that if I actually did 12,000 outreach messages, there's no way I don't sign a few clients, which would, say if I did it at $2,000 a month, there's no way that I don't reach $4,000. And that's not even including, affiliate marketing, which I want to step up for this year, and my personal brand as well. Say even I set that goal and a fucking miracle happens in the bad way, and I do 12,000 outreach messages and I don't get any clients, no nothing, and I don't hit $4,000 a month across all my businesses and ventures, that's totally fine, because you got to understand the play of luck and timing. I could literally, think on the reverse, I could literally do 1,000 outreach messages in 1 month, and out of those I could probably, based on pure luck and timing, I could sign 10 clients, I could sign 4 or 5 clients, I could sign 2 clients at $2,000 a month and already hit that goal. So pretty much what it means by understanding the play of luck and timing is just understanding that, yes, while the whole intention of this video was to pretty much clarify what you actually have in control to be able to achieve these goals, but also understanding there is a small sliver of it which fortunately or unfortunately is due to luck. It's due to timing. If you believe in a certain religion, it's due to God. And I get that a few people may want to argue against that point, this point specifically, but I'd just say that, if that was the case, then everything would be predictable. Everything would be predictable and everything you'd be able to grasp. But you just got to understand there are so many factors that come into play for your success or for something happening in a certain way, that you just got to kind of accept the fact that there is timing and there is luck. There is, if you believe in religion, there is God. And finally, the last point is that the goal is based on a corresponding action and is therefore entirely within your control. You're accountable to it completely. So again, when we split up a goal into an intention and an action, the whole point is for you to set an action that you believe, or at least closely you reverse engineered to achieve this goal. But sometimes that's not always the case. It's simply about pretty much taking a goal and putting as much within your own control as possible and seeing where the chips fall. That is all. And so that is pretty much the end of the how to set goals checklist. I don't want to ramble on any longer because I know this video I've recorded for like 50 minutes now. And so my last words for this, to end off this video, is a few pieces of learning from me to you is just to understand that this is a journey of 1,000 miles, and it begins with one step at a time. Every single day, aim for progress, not perfection. Don't try and perfect every single day or put 100%, and then you end up pulling a all-nighter, and the next day you can barely fucking open your eyes, and then you have this huge crash, and it's just unstable, it's unsustainable. One simple tip: just get good sleep. If you don't get all your work done for one day, that's totally fine. Go to bed the same day, wake up, get good sleep, obviously in between, and try and do better tomorrow. All of this, I'm just asking for you to be patient, to stretch the timeline. If you think you can achieve it in, you may set a goal and you may believe that you could achieve it in 3 months, 6 months. But, business and life is a marathon, not a sprint. If you thought of it as a sprint, you think like you need to get rich by 18 and have fucking $10 million, $1 million, be a millionaire by the time you're 18. Let's be honest, that's the exception, and you just need to be patient and work through it in your own life. Some people get luckier than others. Some people have better advantages. Some people simply just knock it out of the park better. But everybody starts at different stages, and it all comes in different stages. But if you simply just work through every single day, be patient, just progress, 1% improvement every single day. I'm sure you heard of that before. And just take the steps every single day that you need to do in order to move forward towards your goals. You're doing the most you can. You're doing everything that is within your control, and then you just be patient and it will all come in due time. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, guys. I hope you well. I wish you a happy new year, even though it's 5 days now from that. Sorry I'm late to the party. And I also hope you a incredible year for 2025. I know that will definitely be the case for me. I'm confident, and I've grown so much as a person, the past 12 months since 2024, that I'm more confident than ever for 2025. I wish the same for you, and I wish you a lot of growth. I wish you a lot of learning. I wish you a lot of improvement. Again, I wish you well for a better year in 2025. If you guys have stuck this far as long as I have, I am fucking tired, then geez, I give my hats off to you guys. Seriously. This is not easy for me to do. And obviously you can tell my voice is kind of raspy. It's kind of dry now. Yeah, I wish you guys well again, and I wish you the best of luck with everything. The next video, which has been due since 2024, will be the life lessons that I've learned. I've distilled it down to like 5, under 10 life lessons for you guys. I just want to share that as a personal note before I actually move on to 2025, and then that'll pretty much be it. And then after that, you'll be new content and more up-to-date content. So good luck with your goals. I hope you took something out of this, and I will see you next time. Take care.